Now, many of you already know that each and every week on Tuesday we get to see the NAV insurance registration coming out of some of our favorite EV stocks like Nio. And as seen on the screen in Nio, for the period which started last week Monday until Saturday, they saw NAV insurance registrations of around 3,900. Now, this is almost the same NAV insurance registration number we saw coming out from Nio last week, or during last week's report, which came out on Tuesday, where they saw 3,800. Now, I know this, of course, to some others it might not be good, but ladies and gents, let me tell you that from the 1st to the 17th of September, Nio has seen now a total of around 9,900 NAV insurance registration. Now, this is something that is quite good, looking at the fact that you remember that the guidance for Nio on these NAV insurance registrations, ladies and gents, are around, of course, 15 and 17,000. And to get to see that two weeks down the line, Nio is already sitting at almost 10,000 vehicles, makes me to be really excited, because, ladies and gents, it means that chances are very high that we'll see Nio getting to over 20,000 deliveries for the month of September, which that will thresh their guidance, which of course they announced during their Q2 earnings. So these 3,800, though it might of course be lower to some of the retail investors, but this it now has a cumulative NAV insurance registration, or it makes Nio to have a cumulative NAV insurance registrations of 9,900. We can safely say Nio is currently sitting around 10,000 deliveries at the moment, factoring the kind of deliveries they also have in Europe, which is something that is good, right? Looking at the fact that we are still left with 2 weeks before this month ends. Now, I know, like I said, that some of the retail investors wanted 5,000 NAV insurance registration, but I think this 3,800 is still good, especially looking at the 2 weeks that are still there for Nio to, of course, report or generate these NAV insurance registrations. Now, something that really gives me confidence to safely say that Nio is going to deliver over 20,000 vehicles for the month of September is, of course, the last 2 weeks. And this is this week and next week. We usually see the NAV insurance registrations figures increasing, which is something that, of course, makes me to have hope, believe that from next week, or on next week's report on Tuesday, we are definitely going to get a figure that is over 4,000, which will be so incredible or amazing to see. Now, the good thing when you talk about the Nio deliveries or insurance registration is that, ladies and gents, Nio has officially started delivering their EC6 model, which some of the investors are saying it might, of course, generate more sales than the ES6, looking at the kind of price it is priced at, and also the kind of beauty that you find onto that model. Now, I know that, of course, I mean, you will know that the price difference between the ES6 and the EC6 is around $2,750, which it's not that bad. They are almost priced the same, though of course the EC6 is a bit higher. So I don't know what's going to happen, but you will still know that Nio's plan is to see, of course, themselves delivering somewhere between 15 to 20,000 when it comes to the ET5 Touring, ES6 and the EC6. So those are the 3 vehicles that Nio plans, of course, to get 15 to 20,000 on a month to month. So I'm very excited about this the NAV insurance registrations report, especially when I look at the cumulative deliveries that Nio has produced for the first 17 days of the month of September. I think the fact that they are here, it is a clear, or it shows a clear indication that we might get to 20,000 because of the kind of NAV insurance registrations that we usually see towards the end of the month. Otherwise, ladies and gents, before I forget the house rules, you already know that this video is just an entertainment video and not a professional financial advice video. And I would appreciate if you can just hit the like button if you are enjoying the content that I'm giving you about Nio reporting, or Nio seeing 3,900 NAV insurance registration for the period which started last week Monday until Saturday. Now, Nio, you will know, for those that have been on the channel, that it is a company that I talk a lot about because I believe in their fundamentals and their future prospects, and I believe that those that persevere, of course, throughout the short-term headwinds in terms of the share price, are going to be rewarded, because this is a company that continues to do very well in terms of of course, growing their fundamentals. I know that yesterday there were issues, or there were some news of saying that Nio is diluting shares, which, like I said in the video I did just now, to say that it is not a share dilution yet, as those senior notes offering are supposed to expire starting from 15 October 2029, or half of the 1 billion offering is going to expire 15 October 2029, while the other 500 million will of course expire 15 October 2030. So that's not a trend smash. This is something that, of course, as a growth stock, it is normal for Nio to do these kind of things from time to time. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey. And before you buy Nio for the very first time, please do make sure that do your own due diligence, so that at least you don't get to panic when you see some of the news, some of the sentiments that comes from the streets of social media from some of the retail investors. Otherwise, that's all from me, and God bless you all.